All right. Just waiting for it to confirm that we're live on my end here. All right, we're going. Just want to let you guys know I'm playing this song for an intro song today. And I have no idea if YouTube's going to take down the video for me playing it. So, just letting you know if the screen goes black. That's why, but it's a fitting song. It's a fitting song for the topic today. So, just going to give it a minute here. Alright, y'all. Be sure to smash that like, and I will be right back.
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been. And we know what we're knowing, but we can't say what we've seen. And we're not little children, and we know what we want, and the future is certain. Give us
Alrighty, where am I? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Exposing Powerful Lies. Oh my goodness, dude. Well, we had to know it was going to happen eventually, and it looks like the bomb went off. It detonated, and there's no going back. It's so over. Oh, it's so over, dude. It's never been this over before. Internet's erupting, dude. It's erupting. You know, I don't even know where to begin. I just got home from work. I am completely slobbed out. I'm in my pajamas. I need to take a shower, so pardon the disheveled appearance. But I wanted to do this show, as soon as possible because at work I basically, as per usual, I'm sitting there all day, basically doing the show in my head, and so now I've got to try to do it again. This time for realsies. And so I just wanted to get this out there as quickly as possible. Get while the thoughts are fresh in my head, and probably won't be a long one. Just want to give sort of my take on this as a over 10-year long, Trump voter, Trump supporter. This is a hill too far for me. This is absolutely insane. And of course, anytime this happened in the past, it's like people love to come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, told you so, you fell for it again. But you can go back and look at the videos I did during the election where I said that by the end of the administration, we're all going to despise Trump. He's going to give Israel everything they want, basically. I don't think you could have been a more pragmatic voter than me. I literally publicly stated, like, there are Venezuelan gangbangers hanging out at the gas station down my grandma's house, 2 blocks from my grandma's house. Like, we're voting for him for the most pragmatic and practical reasons. Now, we're going to get into all this stuff, so if you're kind of out of the loop, don't worry. I'm going to play the clip and bring you guys up to speed. But basically, do I regret my vote? No. But it is still and is it surprising? No. But it's still disgusting, and it's something that it can't be swept under the rug. It has to be discussed. It has to be pointed out, and so I'm going to react to it, and I'm going to sort of let you guys know my thoughts on it. But basically, the gist is that they've been sort of slow ball rolling out this Epstein cover-up within the last couple of months, or at least I should say month. We got that interview with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel where they look like they're under duress. He killed himself. I don't know what do you want me to say? He killed himself. All right. Get over it. And, so now all of the political podcasts are erupting. Everybody's talking about this. And one thing I've heard a lot lately is people saying, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, like, they're the best of the best. You can't get better than them. And I would disagree with that. I think that that's kind of a silly take. Even when Dan Bongino was named, I was saying, that's great and all. And he seems like, a fine guy or whatever. But this is not the best of the best. This is not doing as much as could have humanly been done to get the information out there, to get the truth to the voters. If they actually wanted to get the truth to the voters, they would have just sicked the dogs on them in terms of, public journalists, obviously like public reporters and stuff. Just sick them, make them sign non-disclosure agreements and just let them run wild, Don't release any victim names, but just run wild through the documents and check it out. What makes it so frustrating, what makes it such a slap in the face or a spit in the face, isn't that they haven't released some list of names. It's not that they haven't given us the client list. It's not that they haven't, given us the magic papers. It's that they're being dishonest about it. It's that they're lying to our face. And they're treating us like children, and they're treating us like we're stupid. And it's very, very frustrating because Trump literally had it teed up. He could have hit it out the park, literally, it was just laid out on a silver platter for him. Non-stop victories and wins. And they handled it in the worst possible way they could have possibly handled it. Whether we're talking about the Pam Bondi binder debacle, whether we're talking about the numerous Fox News interviews or the interviews on the White House lawn she gave. I mean, the administration has handled this in the most dumb fuckery way possible. Forgive my language. The stupidest way possible. Phase 1. Here's the phase 1 of the binders, and also there is no phase 2, and also the official story's true. Everything's on the up and up. It was just Jeffrey Epstein watching porn. That's why his house was rigged up with cameras. That's why he had all these properties. That's why he was best friends with all these rich and powerful people. That's why, he was his partner in crime was convicted of sex trafficking. Because it was just some guy, some pervert watching pornography, and that's all it was. Forget about it. I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy how incompetently this has been handled. And I'm not saying that this is incompetence. I'm saying that, it's an obvious cover-up. But I'm just, it's like, it's a cover-up in the most incompetent way possible. If you want people to forget about this, this is not the way you do it. If you want people to move on, this is not how it's done, dude. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm sort of just spitting out thoughts right now. I want to do this in a systematic way so I can cover all the little things I wanted to cover. But what's going on, Jordan? What's going on? R.I.P. Jerry is an OG. He's been doing this longer than Jim Bob. Yeah, I've been doing YouTube now for 6 years, 5-6 years, if not longer. I've been supporting Trump since 2015. It's like... Anyways, are you our Temu Jim Bob midday stream today? Yes, that's me. Yes. I am the what's that one? Wish.com. I'm Wish.com Jim Bob. What's going on, Dr. Emmy? What's going on, Marilyn? What's going on, Ghost? What's going on, Mojo? Shout out, dude. Yo, Mankind. We got an old school EPL homie up in the house. What's going on, Mankind? Within 24 hours of the Epstein case denial, Netanyahu nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. He nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize because he frigging bombed Iran. I mean, just talk about clown world. Talk about upside down world, dude. Thanks for bombing a bunch of Christians and Muslims. Let's give this guy the Peace Prize. Not that anybody should want the Nobel Peace Prize. What a disgusting institution that is. They lost the cheist. The nothing ever happens people are going to win again with this crap. I know, dude. I know, because and that's what's so frustrating is all of the most annoying people in the world are now just given the win. The Democrats given the win. The liberals given the win. Owen Schroyer said it the other day, like, perfectly. He's like, you had it. You had everything. We could have dominated the midterms. We could have dominated 2028. You have now seceded the ground on anti-war. You have now just opened the door for Democrats to run on anti-war. You've opened the door for the Democrats to take the Epstein truth position. You've now seeded the ground for the anti-Israel, which obviously, I mean, they were already going to get that. But, I mean, there's a million ways that they just basically gave the opponent the ball in the stupidest way possible. And I said from the beginning, like, with everything that happened leading up to this election, all Trump needs to do is be radically transparent. And I get that that's a difficult thing to pull off, and when you're dealing with national security and, power at the highest levels, it's like, okay, obviously you can't tell everybody everything, but you could at least give the appearance of doing that. You could, after decades of the American people being treated like mushrooms, kept in the dark and fed shit, you could have at least tried to bridge the gap, treat the American people like they're adults and be like, look, guys, I know you want a list of clients. I know you want a list of names. Y'all already know who was running with Epstein. Y'all already know the princes and the business magnates and the celebrities, all the people running in these circles. He doesn't have a sheet of paper with a list of everybody and all the crimes they committed. That's not how this worked. The people he was involved with were running the country for a long time. I'm pretty sure they didn't just leave piles of documents incriminating themselves there for Trump and his administration to come in afterwards. But he could have sent that message out. It's not there. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino could have sent that message out. It's not here. We don't have it. Sorry. But that's not what they're doing. They're not saying we don't have it. We're so sorry. We know that there's smoke everywhere and that there's a fire here, but obviously these people weren't so stupid and incompetent that they just left, you know, the smoking gun behind when they you know, handed the reins of power over. We know they're guilty. We can't prove it. I'm sorry, but we got to move on now. There's more important things to do, but don't worry. Our guys aren't going to be engaged in this. They could have done something, but instead they're saying there's nothing here. It's the official story's true, and how dare you for asking about it? How dare you ask me a question about Epstein right now? I mean, it's absurd, dude. It's absurd. We have had Trump now in office for 6 months, and we've already gotten 3 Israel Netanyahu trips to D.C. We've gotten bombing Iran. We've gotten no info on Epstein, except for fake info that was released that we already had, and a completely ridiculous rollout of that. You know, I did my last video, and I was talking about the things that I was happy about in terms of the Trump administration. And certainly there is a lot that I'm happy about. I'm happy about the deportations. I'm happy about the Supreme Court victories. I'm happy about the little victories that we get. And I talked about how a lot of the people screaming about Trump now are the same people that were screaming about Trump before the election. And I think a lot of that is naivety. They don't know how politics works. All of my life, we have had nothing but garbage. We've had nothing but bad politicians, bad leaders, and you got nothing. Then you get somebody in there that you actually want in there, and then you usually get like maybe 10% of what you want, and that's a victory. And that's just the way that politics goes in this country. You never get all that you want. It's always full of compromise and disappointment and sadness. But that's the way it works. And that's true, and I stand by that, right? But this is, as I said, a hill too far for me. This is beyond. I don't care that you don't have the list. I don't care that you don't have the arrests, enough evidence to make arrests and all that stuff. I just want sincerity and to be talked to in a straightforward manner, you know. And so let me play this clip. I'm already sick of this clip. I'm sure y'all are too. But just for the people that aren't aware of why everybody's so pissed off right now, we're going to play it. Let me go back through the chat. What's going on, Bill Hicks, dude? Good to see you, brother. What's going on, Slow Boy? Yo, what up, Slow Boy? Slow Girl in the house. Epstein is still alive, injecting his DNA into everyone. Big if true, dude. Yo, big if true. If we want all the information about Epstein, we would need some Snowden-level leaks. I mean, I just don't think that the info even exists. I really don't. You know, you had the New York apartment was raided. You had those photos of the FBI and the NYPD all in the house. They had pictures of hard drives in that little plastic bin. You know, he had all of these surveillance cameras. All of that footage, guaranteed day one, was scooped up. And honestly, I think that the whole truckload of video footage that they gave Pam Bondi, and in this clip she says it was all CP, I think that was either not Epstein's or, you know, replaced. Like they took the videos of the actual surveillance footage and just put a bunch of CP in there and said it was just his porn stash. That's all it was. That's it. But the point is, day one, I guarantee that's the whole operation. They were just going there cleaning up, trying to cover their tracks. Alex Acosta, the prosecutor who was in charge of the case against Epstein when it came to trial, literally says, I was told to lay off him. He's intelligence, and that's a part of what this question is that Trump was asked. Is he intelligence? Do we have any information on this? Do we have anything new? They're not stupid enough to just leave this stuff lying around for us to find, and so the information's never going to be leaked. It's never going to be given to us. We're never going to get the actual answers. And I think most of us have accepted that a while ago. But there's no excuse for the dishonesty, dude. There's no excuse for the idiotic way this has been handled and for the intimidation tactic. There's no charitable way to put this. There's no, sympathetic way to construct a narrative around this, that this is okay. We're talking about child rapists, human trafficking, sex trafficking, the most disgusting things ever, and very powerful people involved. you don't handle it like this, bro. This is the most frustrating thing possible. I mean, it's just insane, dude. Epstein narrative, chase the carrot, chase it harder. You're so close to getting the carrot, keep going. Oh, there is no carrot. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Pretty much. He's owned by the deep state and bagel mafia at this point. Again, MAGA knew that. They knew that. They knew Israel was going to get everything they wanted. They knew that this was going to be Israel, the Israel show, right? We could have accepted that and moved forward. Like I said, when I voted for Trump and when I came out and publicly endorsed him, I literally was as open and clear as I could. We know this is going to happen. We know that by the end of his administration, we're going to hate him because some sort of COVID level screw up is going to happen that just shows you this is not the guy that a lot of people want to believe he is, right? But I just want the deportations. And when they shot at him, I thought, even though I've been on this ride for so long, and even though I've already, long ago had hope and trust in Trump and then was disappointed and realized, okay, this is just, he is not who I wanted to think he was. Once they took that shot at him, I thought, there's actually a good chance he might actually go to war with these people. There's a good chance he might burn the house down. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but, there's actual potential here. He might actually drop, Epstein info. He might actually expose the deep state, whatever. He might actually expose Israel's, hand in the American government. Not that it really needs to be exposed, but just put out there on the megaphone, like, hey, it's kind of a problem that we have all of these congressmen with dual citizenship. It's kind of a problem that it seems like we're constantly just carrying the ball for Israel every day, always. It's kind of a problem that Israel spies on American senators. It's kind of a problem that, Israel literally took, classified information and gave it to our direct enemies in the Soviet Union. It's kind of a problem. Just put it on the megaphone, the largest platform in the country. There's at least a chance that could happen. Probably not going to happen, but maybe there's a chance. But this is just the final nail in the coffin of, no. He is not on your side, bro. And again, I still hope for the best. I still hope that the country succeeds. I hope he does good things for the country. I'm happy with some of the things he's doing. But that whole possibility, that whole aura of potential has been completely castrated. And it's nobody else's fault but him. It's literally all on him. You single-handedly shot yourself in the foot. And you're just too clueless to even realize it. Frustrating. I was there. I remember you saying that. I remember you being there, Bill. Hope everybody's been doing good, man. Work was crazy today, but I did get out early, so thank God. I wonder what the aubergine spin will be, dude. I know I was checking in on some of the hardest Trump shows lately. Shout out to my homeboy Moldy Apple for bringing that to my attention. He was like, dude, I wonder what so-and-so is going to be saying about this. I wonder what this guy or that guy... So I checked in, and it's just radio silence. It's like they're talking about Grok going full Nazi. They're talking about any other story possibly except this. And, it's bad when I'm this upset because I literally went in with my eyes open. There was going to be no disappointment from me because I already knew who we're dealing with. I already know who Trump is. I already know what to expect. I'm not so upset because, as I said, there's no documents. That's not the problem. The problem is the way you do it. The way that you just lie to your base, to their face, because you think you can just get away with anything. You think you can just set the standards. You can set the margins. This is what MAGA is. This is what America First is, and you must follow that. And my supporters are so sheepishly cultish that they will just, I say jump and they jump. And that's just not the way it is. Most of us, I think, most of MAGA, most of the Trump voters this time around, literally are more like me than they are like the boomer Trump cultists of 2016, of which I definitely was one. I think most of us voted for Trump because we had no other alternative. There was no other option. It was either maybe we'll get some people deported and maybe we'll survive this go around, or maybe we'll never win another election again and this country will burn quickly, And so I saw J.D. Vance the other day say, Trump defines what America First is, really. And that was in response to the Elon Musk drama going on. Trump does not define what America First is. Trump is a manifestation of the sentiment of the American people. Trump is not the ground setter for what we want to see done. If Trump betrays us, we don't just go along with Trump and say, oh, this is the new thing now. This is what I believe now. That's not the way it works. And that delusion that people can get into when they're in power is like mind-boggling. You really think that like you're in charge? Do you know what country you're in? Do you know what America's supposed to be? You're not a king, bro. I get that he thinks he is, but you're not. His worldview to start his actions is preferences. His worldview necessitates that lying isn't wrong. Not having the Christian lens infects everything politically. It's the main issue. It is the main issue. This is a perfect example of why Christ is our only hope. It's the lesson that I learned in the first Trump term, right? Because you put your hope and faith and trust in any politician and any man, and that is just heartbreak. You're just setting yourself up for heartbreak, setting yourself up for disappointment. And you know, so I 100% agree. You know, Christ is the only hope that we have, and without a Christian worldview, without that moral framework to know, like, it doesn't matter if you don't get caught. It doesn't matter if everybody in the world believes you're a good guy. If you're a bad guy, you're a bad guy. And that's actually what matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what public perception is. And again, this is what's so mind-boggling as well, is that Trump is such an egotistical person. He's such an optics-based person. He cares what people think. He cares how he's received. And he has literally prostrated himself on the ground before Israel, before Netanyahu, and he's made a fool of himself in front of everybody. And so it begs the question of, like, how much of this is due to the sort of boomer brain mentality of, you know, how much of it is really that he's just not interested in Epstein, and so that what this video I'm about to show you is a sincere reaction of him being like, why are we talking about this? You know, this isn't that important. I'm doing so much good stuff. Why are we talking about this? You know, I mean, that there could be some truth to that, because when you're dealing with somebody like a president, somebody who's so isolated and sort of kept into this bubble, that you can probably see some of that stuff start to manifest. But there's no way. There's no way that that's all it is. He knows why Epstein's important. He knows why this is. And I think that a lot of times rulers and people in power can really just believe that, like, because there's a lot of midwits, because there's a lot of stupid people, that, like, that's just what it is. That's who you play to. You play to stupid people, and you can just assume that everybody's stupid. Assume that everybody's going to buy this. It's fine. He was just a lone pervert, you know. He was a lone pervert that just happened to be best buds with Bill Gates. Just happened to, you know, get $1 billion from Leslie Wexner in the most sketchy way possible. Some nameless tax consultant gets $1 billion in a massive property from a huge billionaire. Just happens to be involved with you know, Israeli intelligence people like Ehud Barak and all these people. It's just coincidence, guys. There's nothing to see here. And even if Trump is taking this thing of like, hey, look, America was involved, Israel was involved, we can't do this. The enemy, the opponent, the other team is taking shots at us all day, every day. I can't take a shot at myself. Okay, if our guys were involved in the Epstein thing, if this is going to expose too much about us, and as much as I'd love to see these people come to justice, we can't do it without hurting ourselves, so I'm not going to do it. Then keep your mouth shut, dude. Then just keep your mouth shut. You don't make a fool of yourself. You don't lie to your supporters. This is what's so is there's no way to spin this in a way that's actually makes sense. It's just like, okay, this is what we're doing? All right, well, I guess it's war then. So this is the clip.
Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency.
What are we coping about, Mr. Miner? What are we coping about? Why don't you let me know?
The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. attorney, Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
So that right there, the minute missing. So he just asked, look, and the way this reporter asked this question, this pro-Trump reporter, let's keep that in mind. This is not, what's his name from CNN. This is not some, gotcha moment. This is a pro-Trump reporter asking him, so, hey, you kind of made a big deal of the Epstein stuff during your campaign. What's the deal? He asks him, he goes, a prosecutor allegedly said, no, it wasn't allegedly, it was in court documents, that the prosecutor that was in charge of the Epstein sweetheart deal case said he was told by the intelligence community that Epstein was intelligence and to go easy on him. Our guys told the prosecutor when a child rapist and pedophile got exposed so hard that they couldn't cover it up that, okay, look, these documents are getting unsealed. There's nothing we can do to hide it, but go easy on them. Just give them a slap on the wrist. So he goes, hey, your appointee, Trump, the guy that you appointed, Acosta, said he was intelligence. Do we have any information about whether or not this guy was an agent? What foreign intelligence he was working for? What domestic intelligence agencies he was working for? What's the deal with this? This was the basic question. The red herring of the minute missing in the video, Pam Bondi responds and she says, the system that this prison used is from 1999, and every day, at the same time every day, there's a minute missing because the system has to reset. This is not the focus and should not be the focus. I don't think that minute's sketchy. I really don't. I mean, obviously, there's a minute missing. That's a little sketchy. But I don't think that it's in that minute, that's when they rushed through the door and killed him real quick. Odds are, either if he actually did kill himself, they let him kill himself. They went in there and said, hey, bud, we're not going to be checking in on you for another 3 hours. Don't do anything stupid. All right, see ya. If they knew that this guy was suicidal, they could have very easily just let it happen. Or they could have gotten one of the other inmates on the cell block to kill him, which is far more likely, and which is probably what happened, because all those people were moved out, and they won't tell anybody who the other inmates in that, whatever you call it, a unit, they won't release those names, they won't say who was with them, and they all got transferred. That's what's sketchy. So I think the whole thing about the missing minute, I think that's just, it's just stupid, and you're hearing people talk about it all the time, and it's it's got nothing, it's unimportant in the grand scheme. I think it's sort of like a red herring.
Yeah, sure. If
Hey,
I
Pam,
could,
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
I mean, this is so infuriating to have that kind of a response. Are you kidding me? We're still talking about Epstein, this creep? You were talking about Epstein. You campaigned on it. You said it multiple times. You said it multiple times that you were going to release it, that you were going to get to the bottom of it, and it's obvious. He also said multiple times that he thought Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, as did Kash Patel, as did all of these people that are in there now. They said they thought he killed himself, so you already knew ahead of time, okay, this guy's either not paying attention, isn't very aware of the situation, or is willfully being ignorant and stupid. It's incredibly frustrating, and if I were that reporter, I would have nuked my career just then. I wouldn't have been able to hold back. I would have been like, it's not about Epstein, dipshit. It's about the deep state. It's about what that whole thing was a window into. It's about the fact that our intelligence agencies literally protects the worst, most evil, heinous things that could possibly happen because it's beneficial to them. It's okay that we can have a pedophile in our ranks because he's useful to us. Not to mention the fact that we thought that you were against these people that tried to kill you. It's not about Epstein, dude. It's not about everybody. Why is everybody talking about this creepo? Why is everybody talking about this? We're talking about it because it's important, because it's revelatory about the system that we're all living under, dude. Worst diversion ever. I mean, it's I mean, it's insane, dude. Trump is definitely a pincushion for the juice eggplant, dude. I mean, he has just shown that, and not just in this, but I mean, the Netanyahu visits, all of this stuff. I mean, like, this is what your focus is. You just got in there. You campaigned on, like, we're gonna be fixing all these problems, and like all we hear about is Israel all day, every day. Our streets look like frickin' Baghdad. You got people dying of fentanyl overdoses. You got 20 million, 50 million, who even knows, of foreign invaders. We have all this stuff going down, and we got to talk about why Israel needs more bombs. Why we need to go help Israel more. I mean, it is so frustrating, dude.
That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
And that right there, trying to intimidate, unbelievable. We got all this, we got Texas, we got all of the great things we're doing, and you ask me about Epstein? You ask me? How dare you? How dare you ask this question about the child rapist that our government protected, that was most likely involved in an intelligence gathering, compromise ring, blackmail ring? We're all forced to speculate now because nobody will be honest with us. How dare you ask me this? And this was during a Q&A when people could ask any question they wanted. This wasn't okay guys, we're here to talk about Texas. This was a press what do you call it? Junction, whatever. It was open question. And this guy asked him about a question that matters to his base. The question. This is the topic going on right now. Everybody's talking about it. And this is the way you respond. And he goes on to say that it's basically like a desecration. Like he's dancing on the Texas flood victims' graves for bringing up the name of Epstein during this press briefing or whatever. I mean, it's just... It's insane, dude. Yeah, thank you, mankind. Yeah, smash that like. Definitely share the stream. Welcome, welcome. It's utterly insane. And then we're forced to endure more of Pam Bondi, the literal most frustrating appointee ever. Freaking Pam Bondi, dude. That is incompetence.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy.
And you're also covering up for child rapists, dude. Don't worry, guys. The child rapists are on our team. So it's okay. Just forget about it. Because I'm sure they're never going to do anything like that again. I'm sure they're never going to cover up for heinous criminals ever again. I'm sure our intelligence agencies would never engage in that kind of behavior ever again. It's all in the past. Move on. Don't look over here.
What happened in Texas? It just seems like a desecration. But you go ahead.
Sure,
It's a desecration having a woman be in a position of leadership like that. That's the desecration, Trump.
First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention.
We know, because that's all you've been doing. All you've been doing is doing interviews on Fox. That's literally the entirety of your job.
I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file.
Yeah, good point. Let's pull that clip up, because this is a nice little diversion too. Oh, I was talking about the files. No, you weren't. You were asked a direct question. Hey, they're saying they're going to release the client list. Is that true? This is what the Fox News journalist asked her. Is that you're going to release a list of clients? It's sitting on my desk right now. That's what she says. Oh, no, I was just talking about the file. I was just talking about all of the general files about, random stuff, all the different... No, who are you kidding, dude? Who are you kidding?
Along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, the videos that you said were Jeffrey Epstein victimizing children. She said it. She said that she'd seen the videos and that they were Epstein victimizing children. Now it's all just child porn. It's just Epstein's personal collection that he downloaded. I mean, you don't get more direct lying to the people than that. Says one thing and then now it's a totally different thing, and how dare you ask that question? I just completely changed the story. How dare you ask me? What's in the files? I mean, the files they have now are the files that we've already had for years. You know, and there are some interesting things in the files that we had for years. But it's not, you know, what people have been calling for. People have been calling for the client list, which, again, doesn't exist. The actual things that people want to see are a list of the names of the people in the videos. You know, the actual blackmail, the actual compromise that we can speculate to exist, because obviously it's got to exist. The guy doesn't wire his entire house, every room, with surveillance cameras, you know, and then act like a leech to every powerful person, every celebrity, every possible person with any influence at all. Suck up to them, try to get involved with them, while also having all these intelligence connections. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out what's going on. And you've got people like Whitney Webb, who wrote a 1,000-page book all about Epstein, all about all of the facts and information that we have. And I wish so badly we could get somebody like her, which obviously I don't agree with Whitney on everything, but she has done better work than pretty much anybody else on this subject. If we could just sick her on, like, get her in that room, get her in a one-on-one interview with Trump or Elon Musk or any of these people, and just, like, let her at them. That's what I would love to see. That's why it's so frustrating when people say, we got Bongino and Kash Patel, the greatest people of all for this job. No! The greatest people of all would be to get a bunch of different people, a bunch of journalists with nothing to hide and with the desire for the scoop, and to just sick them on them. Ridiculous, dude. So what's in the files? I mean, it's really not the point. It's more the implications and the potential people in the videos. And then she comes out and again repeats this line about, we're not going to release child porn. We're not ever going to put those out there. Or like Kash Patel says, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not putting it out there. Nobody's asking you to put it out there. Nobody's asking to see the videos. But you got people watching the videos already, different FBI agents. They can't write down the list of the names that are in the videos. Oh, no, those videos don't exist, actually. It was all just CP that Epstein downloaded because he was such a sicko. It's incredulous. It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable, because if we wanted to be charitable and say, this is 100%, they're being honest, they're telling you what they know, they wouldn't handle it like this. They would come out and say, look, I get it. I also thought there was going to be more here. It turns out all those videos were just CP that he downloaded. It had nothing to do with him. He wasn't victimizing any women, any girls, any children. He personally didn't hurt any children. It was just, he just had all these random videos. And he just happened to wire his house up with cameras for, I don't know. He just was really into home security. Turns out that's it. And I'm sorry, guys. I get it. I get that, like, you think that there's going to be more here, but there's not more here. And this is what it is. You would talk real to the people. You would be straightforward with it. You wouldn't do these intimidation tactics and these obfuscation tactics. That is just a major red flag. Honestly, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt on the file list thing. Seen too many debates where things get... I thought the same thing. I'm not denying that that's possible, but that's why we're going to play the clip, because when you see the clip, it's really hard to go that route. That's what I assumed when I seen everybody freaking out about it. It's like, look, she probably just meant like the file and not the list. But we'll watch that clip where she clearly, the question is as clear as it could possibly be. So I get what you're saying, and it's certainly, I could give her the benefit of the doubt as well. But even then she's incompetent and should not be in that position. And that's probably why they put her there. Because they just want some ditzy blonde woman that has no clue about the case at all to just piss everybody off and take the fall for it. They're acting like we're stupid and that there's no island. I mean, it's just insane, dude.
Epstein, child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the
Nobody
light
asked you to release it, dude.
of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing.
Okay, so here's what she said. And also, yeah, I hear you, dude. And it very well could be the case. Oh, yeah, we released a 10-hour video from the cell block, the unit that Epstein was being housed of the day of his death. A video that just shows a doorway leading to the unit. It's not a video of Epstein killing himself. It's not a video of his cell. It's literally just a video of the door leading into the unit he's in. And I get that the video is not conclusive. It doesn't show, but the context of it is conclusive because it shows nobody goes in or out, but people are going in and out. But yeah, there's no armed, mercenaries. There's no assassins, ninja-clad, in black outfits sneaking in there with a brandishing a sword. So it's conclusive. So he killed himself. See, you saw the door, and sure, the video might have a minute missing, but don't worry, that's just the system that they use. It's like, I mean, it's really that's the unforgivable part is them treating us like we're stupid and them not just being straightforward and honest about it. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, look, nobody came in or out. Okay, well, what about the other prisoners on the unit? You telling me that they couldn't have been given a deal? Hey, go in there and kill that chomo. You probably wouldn't even have to pay half the criminals in the correctional facilities to be willing to do that.
When he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
That's it. That's it. That's all there is. I'm trying to find now the original interview where she says it. Okay, I got it here. That's it. That's all you're ever going to get. That's basically how I read that. That's it on Epstein. Not that's it for now. That's it. It's over. It's done. Really? Because, well, then why did you say this was phase 1? We're rolling out these binders. This is just phase 1, guys. Phase 2 is coming, right? Well, no, not anymore.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Why would you put somebody in charge of this case that doesn't know anything about the case? Number one. And number two, I mean, right there. I mean, he asked her directly about the client list. He doesn't say, hey, all of the government's information on Epstein, are you going to release that? He said the client list, the high-profile pedophiles that everybody wants to know about. There's no confusion. There's no muddy waters on this issue. We've had 10 years to deal with this, to get our ducks in a row and to know what we want. We know what we want. We want the high-profile people that hurt children to be held accountable. We don't want people like Bill Gates running around, free, innocent, access to all of their money and all of their power when they do horrible things. It's insane, dude. I don't know what else to say other than it's insane. Did you see the layout of the room on the diagram they gave? The camera shows a wall where on the other side is a staircase that leads to a door to a hallway where Epstein was. Such a joke. Everything about the case was a joke. I mean, I don't want to like rehash the whole case. I mean, I'm not the best person to do it anyways, but the fact that the cameras weren't working, but now they were. You know, we were told for years the cameras weren't working. There was no video evidence from that unit. And then all of a sudden now there is, but it's just of a door. Okay. Right. There's so much just red flags. There's so much smoke here that there can't not be a fire. And if it just turns out that it's just the biggest coincidence in the world, then you would think that they would be straightforward about it. Oh, both the guards fell asleep. And then both of them get charged for it and basically don't have to deal with any repercussions from falling asleep on the job. It's just the perfect storm of all of these things, you know, just so happened to go wrong when they had the most high-profile inmate ever in there, who just so happened to have a bunch of dirt on a bunch of powerful people, and oops, he's dead. Oh, he's dead now. I mean, it's so frustrating, dude. And even though you could have asked me before Trump even won the election, I probably would have said, yeah, it's very unlikely that we're ever going to see this. So it's not that I'm so shocked, and you got all these people running around, all these Johnny-come-latelys running around being like, why do you care about Epstein? It's not even that big a deal. Everybody's making a big deal out of it. It's just frustrating, dude. It's like all of the people who have been supporting Trump this whole time, it's not about the fact that they don't have the documents. It's about the fact that he lies to our face. He prostrates himself before Israel. It's pretty obvious that one of the reasons why we're never going to get actually transparency, actual straight talk from him is because his best friend is tied in with the whole Epstein thing. Israel is so implicated in all of that. And that's not even the worst thing they've ever done to us. They're our allies, but they spy on us. They help our enemies. They kill American civilians. They kill American soldiers. They literally kill Christians, but they're our ally. But big bad Russia, Orthodox Christian country, they're our enemy. I mean, it's just so twisted, dude. Since Epstein and NIKA are toast, who's the new group of traffickers, the so-called elite youths? I'm sure we'll find out 20 years after they're irrelevant, because that's always how it works. You know, these groups, it's like Bohemian Grove. Now that Bohemian Grove is, you know, a common household name, you know nothing's going on there. You know what I mean? Whitney released some more info on Trump and Epstein doing stuff with teenagers together. Really? I would like to see that, Randy. If you could send me a link. Or is it just like on her... I follow her on Facebook, and I don't know if I follow her on Twitter, but I would like to see whatever she was talking about. Jerry, did you see Radix Virum's vid on this debacle? I haven't. No, I've just been seeing her posts on Instagram about the capture and kill, or kidnap and kill, the documentary she's doing, so I definitely got to check in on her. Find it and send it? Yeah, thank you, dude. What's up, Jason? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, shout out to Radix Virum. She's always killing it. Speaking of Bohemian Grove, that makes me think of Nixon. I want to show you guys a video. It's a little bit off topic. Not really, though. It's actually quite on topic. That's going to make you love Richard Nixon, if you don't already. Nixon and Billy Graham. Jews. Check this out, dude. Talk about frickin' based. Now this is 7 minutes. I'm looking for a very specific clip here. This is probably the whole thing. Let's try this.
You see, the Bible makes a distinction, Mr. President, between two groups of Jews.
So this is a, you know, obviously everybody knows Richard Nixon recorded everything, you know, all the conversations in the Oval Office. Chad move, that's exactly what I would do if I was president, like back then. Are you kidding me? I would have that place wired up, ready to go, so that when Sheldon Adelson or any of these slimy bastards crawl into the office and ask you for something or say something that nobody would ever believe, I'd just pull up the tape. Check it out. Yeah, literally. Adelson wanted me to kill a bunch of Christians. Adelson wanted me to replace the white Christians in America with third worlders. I know you can't believe it, but I got it all on tape right here.
The synagogue of Satan. There's two different kinds. Then those people in the latter days is called the remnant of God's people, which will be Jewish people. And then there's the synagogue of Satan. And nearly all of your religious deceptions in the latter days, what the Bible speaks, latter days to be 1,000 years, what they call the synagogue of Satan. In other words, they are energized by a supernatural power called the devil. This is what the Bible teaches, whether you believe it or don't believe it.
Dude, based Billy Graham. Let's go.
The biblical teaching. This is what I believe. And I believe that they have a strange brilliance about them. They're smart, and they are energized, in my judgment, by supernatural power.
Well, also they do something else. They're not smart.
And you see, of course, Hitler didn't. They had a stranglehold on Germany, on the banking of Germany, on everything in Germany, and the media. They had the whole thing, you see. But he went about it wrong. But this stranglehold has got to be broken, or this country is going to go down the drain. Yes, sir.
I can't ever say it, but I believe it.
No, but if you get elected the second time, you might be able to do something.
How crazy is that? Nixon. Yeah, I believe it too. I can't ever say it, but you're right. You're right. And then they forced him to retire. Interesting, dude. They forced him to step down. You know, Nixon being forced out, Kennedy being killed, and LBJ was like the death blow to this country. That was like the moment in time, in my opinion, where this was a conquered nation and you were never getting a real, true American president ever again. It's like, from that point forward, it's done. And, you know, it's important that we keep our eyes open. Like we said in the beginning, obviously, like that's just exactly why we put our trust in God. But that does not mean that you don't want to see the best thing happen for your country. And with how bad the situation is in America, like I just been, you know, praying for years at this point that we would make it through this terrible time and have peace in this country. And I mean, what we're living through right now, they just tried to replace us in our own homeland. They just tried to steal our home from us. They imported the entire third world. They took all of the jobs in America, gave them to the third world, and then literally brought the people here to replace us in our own home. It's not about putting your trust in Trump and believing that some political figure is going to be a savior. It's just about self-defense and about, you know, peace in your homeland. You know, peace and prosperity. Can we just not have a hostile government? Can we just have a government that isn't directly malevolent towards its own people? Is that so much to ask for? I mean, it's crazy, dude. I just keep saying that. You know, it's crazy, but it is crazy. It's freaking insane. And it's really cool to see Nixon talk about what we all know. How freaking insane, dude. I would pull up some of the Kash Patel videos, but we don't really need to go about that. You know, if Kash Patel and Dan Bongino actually believe that Epstein killed himself, they wouldn't sit there sweating bullets, looking terrified, and go, he killed himself. What do you want me to say? He killed himself. You know, I've seen the file. I've seen the file. Oh, really? You've seen the file? Oh, you saw a piece of paper? So you know that Epstein killed himself because you saw a piece of paper? Did you see a video of him killing himself? That's what makes it so slimy, is because they're not being honest. They're not saying, look, he might have killed himself. He might have been murdered. There might be something else that happened that we don't know. Maybe they extracted him. Maybe he's living in Argentina right now. He's like sipping tea with Adolf. You know, who knows what happened? But we don't have the documents. We don't have the evidence because obviously the criminals are not going to incriminate themselves. So we don't have that, so we can't give it to you, so I'm sorry. But they don't say that. They say he killed himself. End of story, for sure. Official narrative is true, for sure. I'm the guy. He goes on Joe Rogan. I'm the guy. Don't you think if I had the evidence, I would give it to you? It's me, guys. It's Kash Patel. It's another Indian in America taking an American job. Don't you trust me? It's me, Dan Bongino. Don't you trust me? Trustworthy people don't act like that, dude. You know, if somebody is suspicious around me or takes a step to protect themselves, if you don't leave your wallet sitting next to me all day, I'm not mad at you for that. Don't you trust me? I'm like, yeah, don't leave your freaking wallet. I wouldn't leave my wallet next to you. I trust you, but I still wouldn't do that. It's fine. That's how trustworthy people act. It's what they don't say that is so revealing. It's what they're not saying that is the biggest red flag of all. It's not even that they're sharing their opinion that Epstein killed himself. It's the fact that they don't level with you. They don't just come right out and be like, look, dude, you know, I got this job. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what y'all were expecting. But yeah, the smoking gun's not here, but who knows? But, you know, probably somebody came to them and said, this is a really important position. This is a really important issue. And you've got to give people some closure on this. And so, sorry, Dan. Sorry, Cash App. His name is literally Cash App. His name is Cash App. He's an Indian named Cash App. He wants you to send him Google Play gift cards, okay? Don't you trust him? His brother's a Nigerian prince. Don't you trust him? Listen, Cash App. You're getting sacrificed on this altar, bro. Okay? We get it that you made your living off of the podcast circuit and being conspiracy bro. Indian conspiracy bro. Well, you're getting sacrificed on the altar. Your credibility is going to get killed. But we got to give the American people some closure. So you got to go out there and you got to make sure you look as scared as possible. And you got to let them know that it turns out that the government never lied to you and that they were actually telling you the truth. Biden was telling you the truth. Trump's last statement was really asinine. People are still talking about that guy. I mean, it's like, is it boomer brain? But it can't possibly just be boomer brain. It can't possibly just be that he's actually that disconnected from the zeitgeist, so to speak, that he just doesn't realize how big it is. He knows how big it is. Tucker Carlson's latest interview that he released. You know, he says, I talked with Trump about Epstein. He goes, I know that he's not like that. I know that he's not implicated. But I've spoken with him about Epstein. So Trump knows. He knows how big a deal this is. He knows why we care. And so he's just being dishonest. And so what more do you need to see? What up, Jethro? Good to see you, homeboy. You know, what more do you need to see? This is an extremely disgusting debacle. Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants this to be the reality of America, but it is. And the only way that you ever heal, the only way that you ever treat the disease is by shining the light on it and honesty and truth. The devil wants us to keep everything in the dark. Don't look at it. Don't acknowledge it. You have to shine the light on it. And that's what, at the base level, people were hoping for from the Trump administration, was just shine a light on it as best you can. Just be honest, be upfront, and maybe we can move on. But we can't, because the same people are probably still doing the same crap. And I'm sure they took out Epstein as soon as he was no longer useful to them because the problem became too big. They couldn't cover it up anymore. It came out. Well, now we got to burn our guy. Take him out. He knows too much. You know, you got the Diddy stuff going on. That's crazy. You got the Grok stuff. AI turned into a Nazi or whatever. That's pretty funny. Jethro says 666D chess. I'm sure it'll be taken care of at the end of the term. Yeah, I'm sure he's got Guantanamo Bay lined up, ready to go. Netanyahu's gonna be going there any day. We're saving Israel for last, guys. Trust the plan. Why didn't the feds flood that island is my question. Well, you know, a lot of people said that right after Epstein was, I don't remember if it was killed or if it was the final time he was arrested, that there were boats lined up to the island. You know, they were clearing the place out. James O'Keefe released a couple of weeks ago footage from inside the temple, and it was basically just like a bookshelf. It was like a tiny little room with like a bookshelf in it. He's like, there's no altar here. There's nothing here. It's like, well, why is that there? Why is there a giant sundial? Why is there all this pagan imagery? Like, what is this, dude? Well, he's just an eccentric billionaire, you know? Just a dude with a bunch of properties, DNA freaking science experiments, wanting to create a bunch of children, wanting to seed the entire earth with his DNA. Just usual stuff. Crazy eccentric billionaire stuff. You know? He's basically walking around with tissue boxes on his feet. He's just Howard Hughes, but the pedophile version of it. It's crazy, dude. I mean, just like what I was saying earlier, you know, the most revelatory stuff is what they don't say or what they don't do. Yep. Exactly, dude. Exactly, bro. Trust the incoherent plan. How do you get over that, you know? How do you forgive that? You know? It's like I said, it doesn't mean that, you know, oh, I hope Trump fails. I hope that this country burns. Obviously not. But how can you even be positive about Trump when he just lies to your face about something very important? If our government is complicit in harming children, that's not a Machiavellian, oh, listen, it's our guys. We have to do this. No, you don't, actually. Actually, you don't. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than, you know, like the thumbnail said, it's on, bro. It's war now. It's like I hope you do good. I hope you actually deport the people that invaded our country because it's kind of important. We're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a home anymore if you keep trying to destroy us. But as far as I'm concerned, like, Trump, enemy. You know, you're an enemy. You lie to my face about this stuff, and you try to intimidate me away from asking questions. Then, as far as I'm concerned, you're the enemy. So, is what it is. Trying to think if there's anything else. I know I was gonna do a stream the other day, and I had been messing around more with the AI ChatGPT music stuff. So the first one. Let me pull up some stuff. I'll show you guys. I don't know if I'm going to show you the music that I did, but I'll show you the what I've been working on. So the first ChatGPT Suno music that I came up with was Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab singing a romantic duet together about, what was it? You know, just like New World Order stuff, like wanting to. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Okay. Hang on. Pardon the radio silence. I'm just trying to pull this stuff up here. Okay. Okay. Romantic depopulation duet. There we go. Okay. All right, now I'll share the screen. Thank you all so much for being here. Please like and share. I will read all super chats at the end of the show. Probably before then, actually. I did see we got one super chat came in earlier. Let's check it. Maryland. Shout out to Maryland, dude. One of our new homies. One of the new Ewok armies. You know, strange. You would never think about it, but Maryland just sent in $10. Thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate that, Maryland. Thank you for supporting the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. And so let's see. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT. For those of you who don't know, there's this music app that you can put in lyrics and it'll pump you out a song that my partner at work showed me. So I've been messing around with it just to have fun. And so I asked ChatGPT to write me a romantic duet from the point of view of Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates, singing a love song to each other. But have it be kind of funny, like wanting to depopulate the globe, wanting to get people to live in pods and eat bugs and whatnot. So that was the first one that I came up with. And then I said, okay, now write me like a song from the perspective of Anthony Fauci, but have it be like a sad song about him missing the good old days of when he could torture dogs with like flies and whatnot. So I had it write me up that. And so I've been trying to pump those out. And so that's what I've been doing at work. Just to freaking kill time. I'm like, what are the funniest or most messed up songs I can come up with here? Oh, man. Shout out to Jason, sent in $5. Thank you, Jason. Really appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about it. This was a lot longer than I thought the video would be. It's an hour and 9 minutes. If y'all are not usuals here, if you're not regular viewers, we do have a weekly stream that we do where we do like late night chill streams. We listen to old radio shows. We're going to be doing that later this week. Hey, what's going on, Moldy? Good to see you. I was wondering when you get here. We're already at the tail end, but Ewok Escobar, yeah, dude. I gotta trim up the beard because I'm not really looking like Escobar no more. I gotta sort of trim this up, just leave the mustache again. But I'm letting it grow out just a little bit before I do that. Thank you so much, Chairs. It's always good to see you, brother. I get banned everywhere, but Orthodox crowd is new for me. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you. Late night chill stream this week. Yep. Yeah, we gonna be getting it. We gonna be getting it. I got that list of good episodes, but I've also been writing down good episodes that I find out and about. So we'll definitely be at it. Thank you all so much for being here. This was definitely just something I wanted to get off the chest, wanted to share my thoughts on because I've been so vocally supportive of Trump for the reasons that I gave earlier, and it's, nothing's changed. It's just I'm very frustrated to be lied to, to be treated like an idiot. So it is what it is, yo. I don't see Trump coming back from this one. He would have to do something so unimaginably good that I can't even imagine it, for me to get over the fact that he just like spits in our face, acts like he like gaslights us. Oh my goodness, dude, it's frustrating, bro. Anyways, that's it. I will see you guys when we do the radio show. God bless you guys. Thank you to everybody that hangs out, talks in the chat, sends in super chats, and just lurks. Really appreciate y'all. And until next time, Lil Ewok Escobar signing off. God bless. Peace out, y'all. Trust the plan. Where we go once, we'll always go again. When we go, we will go. Where we have once been, we will be again. Peace out.